I bet you didn't know about Stephen McDaniel and how he was interviewed on the news about a murder that he actually did. I will be showing this interview in this video. He acts like he's this distraught neighbor wondering how this could have possibly happened. He was putting on a great show, but he did do some things in a strange way. He seems more concerned trying to convince everyone that he had no idea what was going on or where this person could possibly be. He didn't even really appear to be grieving, just trying to prove he knew nothing. That is, until the moment they tell him that a body was found. In the early hours of the morning, June 26, 2011, Stephen McDaniel broke into the downstairs apartment below him. It was the apartment of Mercer Law School graduate Lauren Giddings. Turns out her and Stephen had went to school together, and he murdered and dismembered her body. 4 days later, Lauren was reported missing by her friends. A local news channel showed up to start interviewing neighbors, and one of them happened to be Stephen. But during the time of this interview, Stephen didn't even know that he was already pinged as a person of interest. Later in the day, after the interview, police searched Stephen's room inside his apartment. They said at that moment, Stephen became completely unhinged, shaking violently and sweating profusely. Soon after searching Stephen's room is when they found Lauren. Well, part of her. Her torso was found inside of a dumpster right in the apartment complex. Her dismembered limbs and head had probably already been carried off to the dump, but fortunately, her torso was still left behind. Police found the packaging of the hacksaw Stephen used to dismember Lauren. It was discovered when they were searching his apartment. They also found that Stephen had stole the master keys to all the apartments, and also a pair of Lauren's panties hidden in Stephen's room. When they got to his computer, they discovered some very deep and demented blog posts. They were all describing torture and violence towards women. He explained how he stalked Lauren, even filming her through her second-story window by sticking his camera on a pole and hoisting it up. He did that right before he murdered her. When he realized she was alone in her room, he used his master key, which he stole from the landlord, and entered her room. She awoke to the sound of Stephen sneaking into her room. As soon as Stephen realized she was awake, he jumped on her and immediately started strangling her. Stephen drug her body to her bathtub. That's where he used a hacksaw to dismember her corpse. Stephen took the dismembered parts and put them in 3 different trash bags and dumped them in dumpsters around the apartment complex. He completely expected these body parts to be taken to the dump and him completely get away with this murder. Many people actually believe that Stephen was gearing up to become a serial killer. The way that he planned and stalked his victim, and if he hadn't been caught, he would have killed more women. Now, the interesting part about watching this interview is you can see his whole demeanor change the moment he realizes his crime was going to be discovered. So go ahead, watch it for yourself.
And no one's heard from her since.
Did you see her hang out with anyone at the time, anything like that?
No one has seen her since Saturday. I haven't seen anything. I've always heard noise outside, but it's just people walking by pretty much.
And she just recently graduated from Mercer?
Yeah, she and we were both JD students. We graduated back in May.
What kind of person was she? What did you see her?
She's as nice as can be. Very personable, very much a people person.
Do you know any enemies she might have had, somebody that might want to hurt her?
No, we don't know where she is. The only thing we can think is that maybe she went out running and someone snatched her. Because we went over. One of her friends had a key. We went inside and tried to see if there was anything amiss, but she had a door jamb that was sitting right by it, so there was no sign that anyone broke in. The door was locked when everyone got here. We just don't know where she is.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of, I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body?
Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? We don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? They took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's why we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay.